everyone. Welcome to the Stock Market Morning Prep video for February 3rd. Yesterday we did have a nice little reversal at the end of the day, right around 3:30 or so. Market just kind of picked up and started ripping to the upside. Nice late day rally. Could be a possible low in place for now. We don't know. It's still early. Again, one day does not make a trend. But if you see the chart in front of you, 5-minute SPY, you can see the behavior of price up, down, moving all around here within a range for the last 3 days. Now this is really bad volatility, unless you're a scalper, which is great. But you could see in the middle of the day when you open up, you try to rally, they sell them off, and then they try to push them higher, and then they sell them off again without any meaningful pullback or, of course, back test. So you get this big chop here. So what do? Well, you stay away, really, what it comes down to it. If you're a swing trader or a trend trader, this is not what you want to see. This is really terrible volatility. However, I put out a video over the weekend for you guys for yesterday and mentioned a few key points. And we're going to see what happens here. I think we may put in some sort of a tradable bottom. We're not anywhere near as far as a correction is concerned. But maybe, just maybe, we get some sort of a tradable bottom, and we kind of maybe challenge the highs. Again, still early to tell. We have a big catalyst on Friday, which is non-farm payrolls that come out 8:30 Eastern time. So that is going to be a wait-and-see type mode. Now, we do have a new month that has started. We have mutual fund inflows that kick in usually the last day or so before the end of the month, following first 2 days beginning of the month. So maybe today we get a continuation, and then maybe things slow down on Wednesday and Thursday. Not sure, but it is a good sign that we have, in fact, pushed at the end of the day and holding our overnight gains. Now, let's take a look at some of these indicators. The thing is, bullish percent, SPX, very reliable based on a point and figure chart. Those who follow me see that I look at this on a consistent basis. This is still on a sell signal. So I'd like to see this obviously start to curl back up again. And late in the day on Monday, you're not really going to have a curling effect the last half hour into the push. But we'll see what happens today. If we can get some momentum, maybe this begins to cross over. It's still way away, though, as you can see. All right, take a look at the McClellan oscillator, really in neutral territory. So that means that we can move in either direction to an extreme reading of either plus 70 or negative 70. So when you get to that point, that's when you're looking for an overbought state or an oversold state in the markets, and we are not there yet. So you can see the Bollinger Bands are starting to contract. So this has plenty of room on either side. Okay, really not telling us much of anything. Now the NYUD, the advanced decline with volume, held true, as you can see when I pointed this out on Monday. We're still right in that zero line, so that's fine as long as breadth does not start to break down. But again, what we'd like to see is look at these washout levels, looking for that type of small bounce here. Okay, that has not happened, but it's holding in pretty well. Okay, stocks above the 50-day moving average in the S&P. We are at an area where we could bounce, so that is something meaningful. You know, you could see here, I do like that 20, 35, 40. Would like to see it break below 30, but nonetheless, I do see that if we do rally, then we could start breaking back higher. And again, still plenty of room to the upside before you get into an overbought state. All right, that's a good thing about it with these indicators. Same thing with here with stocks above the 50-day moving average in the NASDAQ. So right at a point where we could bounce, okay? And again, the overbought readings have disappeared on this pullback, so that's a good sign that we can muster up a little bit of buying pressure and really squeeze the shorts out and start moving higher. Again, I pick no sides. I look to see where the market is, and then I trade it accordingly for the day. Now let's take a look at some of the indexes and see where we are here. Well, we're still making lower lows and lower highs. That's certain. You can see that here in price. Now, we have to really alleviate this downtrend line here, and this is in the Qs. We're underneath the 20, underneath the 50, and of course the 8. So if we can get back above it today and maybe have a couple of days of closing above this downtrend line to alleviate this downside pressure, then I think we can at least challenge some of these highs here, okay? And then we would reevaluate it. But so far, so good. The Qs did put in an outside day reversal Let's take a look at the other indices. Now, spiders, same thing with the spiders. Now, I'd like to see this taken out. As you can see, this coincides nicely with the 50-day moving average. So we need to get back above that 50-day moving average and start moving a little higher here. And as you can see here, I put this out, I think it was a couple weeks ago. I'd like to see these indicators curl up above this downtrend line. If we can get back above it, RSI, MACD, stochastics, doesn't matter. You'll see they're virtually almost the same. I like to see it get right back above it and then start to move higher. That'll put some upside pressure in equities, and then of course maybe we can get going and at least challenge the highs. Again, it's just like the Qs. Transportation really didn't go anywhere, but we did rally towards the end of the day, which is a good sign. We're sitting right here at that. If you can see, bring that up here at 61. Actually, excuse me, that 50% retracement, which is right about here, and we need to really get back above it. We need to start breaking higher. This was actually very weak. This is our leader, so if the leader can pick up and start leading, we might have something here. But again, if this starts to break down, and banks and financials, and if technology doesn't really follow suit, then I think the market's going to be in trouble really to rally any significance. Okay, that's the problem. So let's not get too crazy about the long side. But again, if we're holding up the gains and we can see some nice movement in the markets, then I could see us moving a little higher. Of course, oil actually did start to rally on Friday. People talking about short covering rally. I think that's part of the fuel. But if you follow in rig counts, closures, they're starting to really break down hard, and a lot of the bigger conglomerates are reducing their cap spending. So that's going to help reduce supply out on the markets. So I guess some of the shorts might have gotten a little worried about that and start to cover. So that's a good sign that crude is kind of stabilizing, and that helps equities as well because you have a lot of large cap oil companies that are in the S&P 500. Okay, and let's take a look at two more. We'll give you the IWMs. Again, one of our leader here, a secondary leader. We need to see a break above and close of 118, which would be 1180 in the TF Russell future. So above 1180 would be a very good sign that maybe we can start headed higher again. But you can see this is a big mess. The Russell is a big mess, guys. 23 to 38% retracement. You can see from November. I mean, just sloppy trading. Large candles, large wicks. It's really not a great index right now to trade. But if you can get it right, you can make a couple of dollars here. So the IWM, like I mentioned before, and then lastly is the Dow Jones. Again, got back above the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement, which is nice, and we did have an outside day from the previous day. However, we still need to get back above the 50. So as you can see, repetitive patterns in the indices, we need to get back above the 20 and the 50, and to make anything meaningful for further upside, okay, in equities. So let's see what happens today. It'll be quite interesting. If we can get a couple of days of good upside movement, and then we kind of stall Thursday, and let's see what happens on Friday. We get a good number on Friday, and if they react well to the number, then we could see at least some further movement to the upside and maybe challenge some of these highs here. But we shall see. All right, guys, be careful. Keep your stops in place, and remember, volatility is high, so you're going to have to increase your stops and therefore reduce some of your share size, okay, according to your account. Have a great day. We'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.